And 3, 2, 1.
It's in the game.
It's in the game.
Josh.
I know, but he has to troll as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I do.
Yay!
I know. I do have control.
It's in the game.
Control, troll,
Control.
Josh-
say la vie or whatever they say.
Josh lives under a bridge because he's a troll.
Yes, I am.
See, she gives a thumbs up. Just like last week. Kim gave a thumbs up about everything. God. You're giving everyone like brain aneurysms, Josh.
It didn't change. What are you talking about? Nothing
I
changed.
mean, my thumb was pointed the other way. Yes.
No.
No.
Kin has returned. She is back.
I'm
This is not a still image of Kin from
Yes.
the days.
Wait,
She is
I
now.
heard I was very good last week. I heard
You
that
were.
I did a great job.
You did.
There it is.
Thank you.
There we go.
Kin is now. EA has made Kin a Jedi, so she now has Jedi powers and can like throw lightsabers and do lots of stuff. And looked like you had the bestest time ever.
It was a blast. So EA flew me out and took us to Disney, which was really freaking cool. But they also they put us on all the Star Wars stuff and they gave us fast passes and we got to ride like the exclusive Star Wars rides that are like forever long to get into, but we got in right away because but no, it was a lot of fun. It was really cool. I posted a ton of pictures to Twitter and I'm going to be uploading some more to Instagram, but they flew us out for the Star Wars Jedi Survivor video game preview event, which was really neat. So we got to play like 4 hours of gameplay.
Nice.
And meet with developers. And the guy who plays Cal was at our party. Did not talk to him because I felt really awkward about, I'm weird about talking to celebrities. I'm like, they're not going to remember me anyway. So like, And he had a mob of people everywhere he went. I was like, I'm not going to fight people that want to, talk to him. But
that's cool.
it was a blast. It's going to be really good. I can't say a shoot load because a shoot load. What the fuck is this? I can't say a shitload because I don't have my full NDA pulled up in front of me, so I don't want to say something I'm not supposed to.
Did you notice
you can shoot your load whenever you want, Kin? You're at Murder Moose now.
You posted pictures from there, and one of them had the Mandalorian with Grogu, and I did comment, of course. That's not Baby Yoda.
I loved it. Yeah, no, it was really funny because, all the little kids would run up. They're like, it's Baby Yoda, it's Baby Yoda. And I heard one person go, it's not. And I looked and I was like, don't take that from them. It wasn't somebody with us, but I was like, don't take that from them. Leave them alone. Like, come on. But it was great.
It's the actually people.
Like, they didn't tell us we had to stay in the Star Wars section, right? Like, that wasn't something that we had to do. But we didn't want to leave. Like, it was so freaking cool. Yeah. And then we went, like, at one point we were like, oh, I want to go do Star Tours, which is in, like, Tomorrowland or World of Tomorrow or Tomorrow World, whatever. We got all the way over there. And then our time for the one of the other Star Wars rides had popped. And I was like, oh, shit. So we had to, like, run back. But then the parade was there. So we had to, like, do all this weird. At one point, it was me and Aerie and Smash, and we're just in a chain, like pushing through all these people, and I'm just dragging Aerie behind me, and Smash is dragging. It was so funny. I don't know. Yeah. It was a lot of fun, but the gameplay was awesome. There's lots of new. I know I can say this. There's lots of new characters.
Yeah.
The story is going to be fabulous, and it's
More
got a
Baby
nice
Yoda?
little. Yoda. No, he doesn't fit into that section of the timeline.
He's around after. It's that 50 years in between, he was around after Order.
He's always around now.
Yeah,
it doesn't
66,
matter.
Right? So they don't know where
Grogu.
You don't know where Baby Yoda is in between then and then. So he could appear
around.
Yeah, in this little pod. Well, that's the thing. They just had the flashback of where Jar Jar Binks saved him. If you guys didn't know, the Jedi that saved him on the episode of the season was the actor who played Jar Jar Binks. So
I really like this this season.
Aw.
Actually, it's been
I do
haven't
too.
started
really
it yet.
fun.
Yeah, it's a lot to do with the whole Mandalorian thing, and it's been cool. I've liked it. People are complaining about it like they complain about everything, but like,
I feel like it's found its rhythm well. Like it's
Yeah.
very, it's almost like formulaic at this point, like very like Disney whatever. But like I feel like the rhythm of the show, there's something to it now, and it's a nice light snack every week now,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, oh, I can't wait.
Does
just-
this one roll better than Boba Fett's?
Well, Boba Fett was.
Boba Fett was a weird. It was
It's
like the
weird.
thing. Well, the thing was, it was like, we can't take away baby Grogu for a whole season. So we're gonna give Boba Fett a bunch of episodes, and then we're gonna give Baby Yoda more episodes. And it's just like, even though it's the book of Boba Fett, you couldn't eat like. I get it because everything Baby Yoda Grogu does is just like, instant money. It's just like, it's like we make it rain on them hoes because Grogu is he's like cash in Baby Yoda form. Like he's just like, it's like he's the same color. He's got those ears. He's just like printing cash. I understand it, but yeah, it's been good. I've liked it. Like, yeah, it's been. They had the one weird episode with the scientist dude, right, Josh? But like. Everything else has been,
I liked it though. Like,
Yeah.
it's to introduce other characters to that episode.
Yeah.
So, I
Yeah.
don't know. It shows more of the world. I love how it's a show that, sometimes you can feel the restraints of them using that LED wall because, like, it doesn't feel like it's much bigger than a room most of the time. But then those scenes where they were showing the world more, I felt like everything was bigger for like,
Coruscant's just such a overwhelming city for everything, right? Because it's like the capital of the whole, like, whatever. And so it's just like, it's like sci-fi, like, in one city. It's like, a giant city with flying cars and everything like that. And every time you show Coruscant, like that shit happens. So they did that, and they did a good job of just like kind of like showing you a little bit about it, right? And
they did a good job Star Warsing.
They did. So, Ken, I'm glad you had a good time. It looked like a blast. Like I'm excited for that game because the last one was real fun. Like it took a while to like, it's like Star Wars does Dark Souls kind of. And I remember raging in that final boss. That final boss of that game was a pain in the dick.
The final boss took me a hot second, but it was one of those, like, once you got the rhythm down, it wasn't too bad, but it took me a while on that one.
Yeah.
In the rhythm of the night.
I think I took a couple of weeks off because I was annoyed by it, but yeah. Yes, I don't know. We said we are Slash and Cast, part of the Slash and Cast podcast network. We are Murder Moose.
It's in the game.
We're here.
It's in the game.
Someone take the buttons away from Josh for the love of sweet baby Jesus. For the love of sweet baby Jesus.
You gave them to me, Rod. You gave them to me.
You gave them to yourself. I just gave you a spot on the show.
You gave them to me. You did.
I did. It was me. It was me all along. Oh, you motherfucker. You motherfucker. Fucking hell, man. Fucking Josh, you make me forget that I don't have Adderall with my like world of not having Adderall. Cause
you've changed, Rod.
The fame has gotten to your head, Rod.
Fame. Nobody knows who the fuck I am. What are you talking about, Fame?
We know who the fuck you are. Fuck off. I'm not nobody.
You know what I
Am
mean.
nobody?
Changed.
I'm nobody because I know who you are.
No. Bob Odenkirk
What?
is nobody.
Bob? Wait, what?
Bob
I
Odenkirk
need
is
Ritalin.
nobody.
What?
Yes.
It's too late for Ritalin tonight.
Also, Josh, I don't know if you saw it. Bob Odenkirk was on Hot Ones last week, and it was pretty entertaining.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, that man's always good. Like he's. I at some point will watch Better Call Saul. At some point.
Oh, dude, I can't believe you haven't. It's fucking. It's better. I don't know. It grew up. Like I feel like I don't know. I've said this before. Like I stumbled upon Breaking Bad by accident because they were playing some stupid movie on AMC that I was like, oh fuck yeah! Like this stupid movie's on. And every 2 seconds there was a commercial. I was like, fine, I'll watch your new show. Fuck. Like every 2 seconds. I was like, fine, I'll take a look. And I was like, holy shit, this is awesome, actually. So
I think I started watching like before the fourth or the fifth season, the first part.
That's when it went to Netflix and it really picked it up for. It's a fucking rad show, man.
I had a buddy pirate it for the fourth season because it wasn't on Netflix yet, and it was like all had like Russian subtitles and shit. Like it was like it was from the land of like.
I watched Tetris last night, and that was very Russian.
The one about the development of the Tetris game.
Yeah,
I've heard good things. I don't know though.
It's not terrible, but I also watched it with 2 Ukrainians, and they're just like, "Fuck Russia."
But then, were you going like this the rest of the night? Do 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 do. It's a perfect rhythm to give 2 hand jobs at the same time.
If that doesn't get put on a meme, I'm gonna be really disappointed.
Hey, Clown Dick is back! Yay!
Dude, I watched Brandon Tenold's video about the Super Mario movie yesterday, and because I've never seen the original one. And,
oh, really?
Yeah,
I saw it in theaters, man.
Dude, I was 10, so you were like what, 8 or some shit like that? Yeah. So
you're only like half a year older than me. I don't understand.
You're aren't you 38 now? You just turned 38 in October, right?
No,
so you're like
fucking.
It's like a little over a year.
So you were 7? No, I'm 37. Am I? Oh no, I don't even know.
What year were you born, Josh?
85.
What year were you born? 85? So yeah, you're 2 years younger than me. So I was fucking right.
But I still saw it in theaters.
I know.
Because Brad's going to be 40 this year, right?
Yep, in August I'm going to be 40.
I'm at the when you get to the what? Who gives a fuck? I'm not 40 yet, so that's all that matters, right? Like,
in the middle of the night.
Fuck Josh you, Rod. Fuck
Josh
you.
Can suck my dick in the middle of the night.
Rod's an old fart.
I am. When I start getting emails about joining AARP, I'm like, fuck you guys. I'm not that old, you motherfuckers. Oh, you motherfuckers.
There's another meme. Listen, we're just stacking them up tonight. We haven't even gotten going yet.
We're just giving them to them. Yep.
It's like Baby Yoda for the podcast with memes.
Yep, it is indeed. What? Honey! Zelda is like outside my door barking, and I'm just like, God damn it, Zelda. She's got the highest
wants
pitch.
in.
No, she's over here, not by the door that's like that she comes in.
Just like Zelda needs to find a way in.
Into Link's pants?
Yes.
And then when she pulls down the zipper, it makes that noise. Do 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 do.
That noise?
Dude, this and all that remind me of I'm flying somewhere on Wednesday, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna bring the Switch. And then I got it out, and the Joy-Cons that we bought a couple years ago, the one just doesn't charge anymore because I haven't used it in a while, and I'm like, because they were generic cheap ones, and I'm like, oh, you got to be fucking kidding me. I was not a happy camper.
I have so many of those batteries that I was just like, garbage. Why did I buy so many? They don't even recharge once. What the fuck?
No, the Joy-Cons, the little things that go in the end of the Switch, Josh.
Oh, I wasn't listening.
I wasn't listening, he says.
What a shock. What? Josh wasn't listening. What a shock.
God.
What a fucking shock. Okay.
Rod's talking?
Yeah, exactly.
I was talking to my buddy Arnold here, you know.
I was going to say, is your can the...
Ken, you blue screen mid-sentence.
No.
you were like, is the can gonna...
You know, sometimes I wonder if people listen to the podcast and they're like, are they all high? Like, what is going on? No.
This
at
is
the beginning Rod and I were both high most of the time, but I haven't smoked weed.
No, that was just you, Josh.
2 years.
Not me. Not you. Just you. Not
I was
me, Josh.
so high every episode, but I was also so high. I was like Seth Rogen or Seth.
Dude,
yeah, Seth Rogen.
I told Kim the story
High
about
all
how
day, every day.
early
Not
on,
anymore.
like one episode, we were like an hour late recording because you like got high and passed out on your like
you took
living
too
room
long.
floor.
No, I was right here. I was legitimately right there on the floor because I was like, Rod, hurry up.
Okay, we're gonna talk about Scream 3 here momentarily, but have you guys watched any other horror things over the last like week? I was talking about like watching Don't Breathe and whatnot, but like, have you guys watched anything else?
I watched that I See You.
P?
That's on Netflix. Let me pull it up so I
don't know if I know that one.
I see.
It came out in 2019.
I watched Creed 3. That's not horror.
I've never seen a Creed. I've never seen any of them.
Creed 3 was really good, but
And-
what's I See You? Oh.
So I See You.
Oh. Ah,
You
yeah.
should-
I know it.
Is that the
So-
eye transplant movie that's like Korean or something like that?
No. The description for it is: as he searches for a missing child, a small town detective uncovers a malicious presence lurking in the crevices of his family's already broken home. Stars
Crevice.
Helen Hunt, John Tenney, and
Oh!
Gina Lewis.
Oh, I know. Okay, I know I See You. Okay, most forgettable fucking title of all time.
Right?
But like it has that weird thing where it's another thing like Barbarian and shit like that where they like sell you one thing and then it's like three, it's like really kind of like 3 episodes of a horror show that connect in like one thing. But yeah,
And you
I like
know
that
there's
a
an
lot.
episode of Breaking Bad called I See You.
Nice. No, I like that movie.
Just
And the
bring it back.
mask, the mask they have at the one point, it was pretty.
Mhm.
Didn't it look like a tiki mask or something like that, if I recall? But
Yeah,
yeah.
it's like a tiki frog.
No, dude, I was shouting out about that movie after I watched it on Amazon, like in probably around like 2020 or something like that, and then like nobody, the title is so forgettable. It's just like so
It
forgettable.
truly is.
Yeah.
What title?
Because exactly. So
Exactly.
because like one of my favorite Miso songs, however you say it, their band name, because I can never remember, is I See You. So like so I'm like, wait, it can't be called I See You because that's like a totally different thing. But
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah, no- It's a good little thriller like thing that felt like it just got dropped on. Like nobody gave it any attention, and it's a horror movie, but it's like a thriller horror kind of thing. And it's like, yeah, it's cool, and it goes places that when you start it, you don't expect it. And,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
And
I
then
didn't
like you think it's going somewhere and
yeah. It goes. That's I always like when movies like that do that where they like it. That's why like one of the big reasons why I like Barbarian so much is because you like they sell you one thing and it's just like it's fucking like sleight of hand magic. They're like whoa, and they're like doing this over here while pulling shit over here to like get with you, like mess with your mind. And yeah, that movie's cool. I like that though, and it's
I
good
just
seeing
can't
Helen
wait.
Hunt.
I just can't wait to see Rise, Evil Dead Rise. I'm like planning it. It's on the 20th.
I'm so worried they've shown too much in the trailers.
I've only seen the
Yeah.
one trailer.
Every time I go to the theaters, they're showing like there's 2 different trailers they rotate through, and I'm like, please stop.
They have that, and like because most of the movies we just went and saw John Wick 4 a couple weekends ago, and it's like every time you go to the theater now, like with an R-rated movie, you get Renfield, you get Evil Dead, and you get Beau is Afraid or Beau is Afraid. Like all 3 of them.
I don't
like,
get that one. We get Renfield, we get Rise, and we're getting 65 nonstop. I heard that
The
was
last
really
movie,
bad.
I actually went like I'm usually like early and I sit
Yeah.
and I chill, whatever. They're all like you pick your seat beforehand, anyways. And
Right.
The last movie I went to, I actually like got there right as it was starting because I was like, I don't fucking care about commercials, all that shit. And I was like, well, this is weird. I sat down and it was like feature presentation. I was like, yeah. Fuck yeah.
Nailed it.
I-
Nailed it.
I go to Alamo and I just have to show up a little bit early because you're like, oh, what do I want to eat or whatever, So.
Oh my God! Every time we go to the theater, I get a large thing of popcorn, and I eat all of it by myself.
I don't
know.
Like, I always get a large, but I take it home and I eat it all week because I love.
I can't. But I will say my stomach will hurt for days. Because it's just like, no, you can't eat that, dumbass. Like, what are you doing?
It's so funny because like, Kin, you're so good at like, you've like revolved, like you changed your life so much. Like you went from like, like unhealthy and whatever, and just like putting all this work in and doing all and you're like, occasionally you have like these little instances of flashbacks of like unhealthy Kin, and it's just like, but even then it's like popcorn, so it's not like it's not you're eating.
Because it was funny because we went to dinner before the movie, which normally if we're going to the movies, we go after. And so she was like, don't fill up. You're going to want to eat popcorn. And then I was like, okay. So I ate a little and I was like, I'm pretty full. And I was like, well, we've got like 3 hours till the movie. I'll be good by then.
Dude. Well, now the big scam with all these movies is to get those limited edition popcorn buckets because they just had one that was
Scream.
Yeah, they had one for Scream. They had one for Dungeons
That's like
and
a
Dragons
kids thing. I don't understand.
Are they like the standard cardboard ones?
No, they're like made out of plastic. Yeah.
Oh.
The Dungeons and Dragons had a D20 that was a popcorn bucket.
Everyone that I respect has been like, "What the fuck? That was really fun. Like it was really dumb."
That's what I hear.
Super self-aware
That's
and
what I've heard.
really fucking well done. And I'm like, really?
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah.
And it's everyone that I like definitely respect their opinion.
Yeah, I've not heard one bad review of it. I saw some guy on Twitter earlier going, I'm a jackass and I was making fun of this movie, and it was like, but it was really good, and it's just like. That's like
charming. It's one of those. Yeah, it knows what it's trying to do.
That's a good.
Yeah.
And that was
what
like
I've heard. That's a really good description of it.
So that's what Josh and I said about Cocaine Bear last week. Is that it
was
knew
charming?
it knew what it was, and it like embraced it, right? Like it kind of like
it
embraced
leaned in
it
hard.
Yeah. But we're gonna talk about Scream 3 today. So.
But this movie did not.
No, it did not.
It tiptoed through the fucking window.
It did indeed. We were talking about Scream 3 from 2000, a movie that has issues. There are a lot of people who still love this movie, and I don't understand it, but okay. I'm going to read the synopsis.
Whoa.
While Sydney and her friends visit the Hollywood set of Stab 3, the third... Okay, even the synopsis is already bad, because like that's not really what you're doing, but it goes, the third film based on the Woodsboro murders, another ghostface killer rises to terrorize them. Okay. I want to know if what they were building Scream 3 off or Stab 3 off, because they did Stab 1 off of Scream 1 and Stab 2 obviously off of Scream 2. What was Stab 3 going to be about? Because from the you get the writings of it in this film, they're rewriting the shit. That's the most meta thing on this is them mocking the script for this movie that being rewritten a billion times. But like, I wonder what they're killing Gale in the Stab 3, it sounds like. And I don't remember anything about Stab again until, they go hard on Stab 3 or Stab in what? Scream
4.
From 20. Yeah, no. I mean,
don't
they go harder on it?
4.
Yeah, I know. But what I'm talking about is the whole like,
oh, right. Yeah.
Like, and the whole like Scream 8 and the
Matthew Lillard's voice makes an appearance in those.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It's a weird thing. So I'm wondering first off, what was Stab 3 going to be about? Because it doesn't.
Well, I think I asked that last time because I said that like they start talking about Stab 3, but I didn't remember anything about Stab 2.
Yeah.
So
there's a gap in between Scream 2 and 3 of at least 2 or 3 years, because Sydney graduates, right? And she was like, I think she was like a sophomore in that. So there's at least a 2 to 3 year gap if you just are guessing. So Stab 2, I just assume was made about Stab or Scream 2, right? He just followed the logic there, and then they go and start. Obviously, people weren't getting killed fast enough in the Hollywood, so they just start making stabs, right? And so by the time Scream 5 comes around, they're like on.
Oh,
the big,
you're talking. Sorry.
But the big thing in that movie that pisses all the fans off was how bad Stab 8 was, right? So they're way ahead. They're like how many ahead of everything else, right? So I don't know. Also, another thing that I fucking it makes me laugh every time I hear it. Everyone's like, "Oh, this is the Scream 6 is the first Scream that doesn't take place in Woodsboro." Fuck, what the fuck are you talking about? Scream 3 is in Hollywood. Scream 2 is in fucking wherever their fucking college is, and like.
No, they're not all in Woodsboro.
They're all in California, but they're not all in Woodsboro, and it's just
except for the one that's not in California.
I did not finish 4. That's what it is. I just remembered the killers from 4, but I had not finished 4. Okay, sorry.
I don't understand how Courtney Cox goes from having the iconic haircut in number 2, and then not
you brought it up,
an iconic
and now
haircut.
That's all this is going to be about now is I want to know why Courtney Cox decided to let a toddler cut her bangs with like safety scissors, because what the fuck were you thinking, Courtney?
I feel personally attacked. We've talked about this before. I feel personally attacked. Okay, listen, I wish I could have found this photo to show for this. When I was in high school, I didn't go get my hair cut very often. So I had my little straight across bangs that I hadn't started growing out yet, but I didn't like them. So I took the thinning shears and took those bitches up to here. And I had these little tiny wispies all through here, and then my regular thick bangs up here. And you know what? It looked good. Because why? Because Courtney Cox, I left some of it. Don't do that.
I mean, I'm glad it looked good on you, Ken, because it did not look good on Courtney Cox.
No. She didn't do it right.
My favorite part of the whole movie is when she fucking at one point has her hair up and her shitty little bangs are just like a quarter of an inch. Yeah, it's just like
brutal.
I'm sitting there after we talked about it with Scream 2 with her iconic red highlights that, you know, are such a big deal in Scream 2.
She was so good look. Like, I had the biggest crush on her in Scream 2. I was like, whoa. But Neve Campbell looked really great in this one. So, she always looks good. So, I don't remember, I was really into Courtney Cox when I was a kid for some reason.
You were into Cox when you were a kid, Josh?
Yes. And Neve Campbell, I wasn't so much. But now that I'm older, I'm like, wow, Neve Campbell, you're fucking hot.
Because Neve Campbell's natural, too. She doesn't, inject all the Botox.
If you look up Courtney Cox Scream 3, what happened to Courtney Cox's hair in Scream 3? Why is Courtney Cox's hair like that in Scream 3? One set of bangs. There was one set of bangs on set. There were no duplicates. Somebody cut the bangs on set, and when they did it, they had pushed the piece back too far, and they'd already started filming. So she couldn't move it back down. So they had to shoot the whole fucking movie with her hair like that.
Really?
Because yes.
I would have at that point, if I was Courtney Cox, I would have shaved my head and said, put a fucking wig on me. Like that would have been so much less embarrassing. Bitch, she could have fucking pulled off the G.I. Jane look and just been bald. Anything would have been better than those bangs. Anything. Her bangs also remind me of a girl that I went to school with in middle school. I felt so bad for her. Her little sister got a hold of her dad's pair of buzzers, whatever the fuck, while Clippers. She was sleeping, and shaved this whole front section of her hair, just in this one area. So this poor girl had just this shaved section, and people weren't shaving their heads often then, so she just had to grow it out, and it was awful, and I felt so bad for her, dude. So that's the thing too. A woman who shaves her head is not it's way easier for a guy to pull it off. But when a woman can pull it off, it's a fucking good look. You could even get that really kind of short Sinead O'Connor kind of haircut and pull it off. But when it doesn't work, you're just like, oof.
I'm afraid my head is shaped funny. So like if I ever shaped my head, it would be like.
Dude, when I was in ROTC in college, I had a captain who was
okay, hold on, back up, rewind that. What?
I was in ROTC in college.
I did not know that.
Yes.
Today I learned.
And then I got my commission taken away because they're like, this idiot isn't going to make it there for us. And they were probably right. But I always shaved my head because I didn't want to deal with it. And this captain goes, your head looks funny. Stop doing it. And I said, fuck you. I didn't tell him fuck you, but like I basically told him fuck you because I kept shaving my head. I was like, fuck you, dude. You could tell me what my head looks like. Go fuck yourself. So yeah. I was, many.
And now you're Metal Man.
And now I
want to see you do the fucking. Yes.
And I'm dizzy. and I'm dizzy. Fuck,
that was great.
I went for a run after work and then showered and then like I was like, I gotta go do the podcast, and I'm like blow drying my hair, and it's just like
How long does it take you to dry your hair?
Not very long.
Oh, you're a bitch. Okay.
I think my hair's thin. That's why. Like, it doesn't take that long. And I'm in
ponytail.
Colorado.
Come on, ponytail.
No, it's because Colorado. There's no fucking humidity here. So like,
I'm saying
true.
ponytails are hot. Just put it in, and you'll be hot as fuck. Rod.
I have
Rod.
pigtails.
You'll be hot, Rod.
I have
Wait,
pigtails
Josh,
in all
are
the
you
time.
saying he's not hot as fuck right now? What the hell?
Yes,
How
that
dare
is
you.
exactly what I'm saying.
Wow. Wow. I don't want to take part in a podcast where you don't think that Rod is hot.
Yeah, exactly. And now I'm never gonna jerk off to you again, Josh. Like I used to jerk off to you all the time.
I hope you're proud of yourself.
And you've ruined it, Josh.
I hope you're proud of yourself.
You've ruined it. Like the only sound out of the fucking thing is Josh's mouse clicking as he rapidly fucking goes back and forth between us. No, yeah. So Courtney Cox's hair is the worst thing of all time, and I wonder if like she gets like people give her shit about it till this day. I probably not, because man, the amount of
one interview was from January 11th, 2022, where they were talking about her fucking hair with her.
Oh. Well, now you could just go. I mean, even with her Botox face now, like you still want to like ask about her fucking the bangs from hell. Like, I feel like bangs are not something everyone could pull off, and we know this is true. Why is Kin in front of my face with like whatever, or like over here? Yeah,
there we go. Yeah, it's perfect.
It me.
God damn it, Josh. Yeah, I don't even know what I was gonna say now because Josh is like ADHDing it up today. Thumbs up. Yeah, poor Courtney Cox.
Like, okay, so here's the thing though, too, with Courtney Cox. Like, I know, and we've got to talk about the actual movie and not hyper fixate on Courtney Cox. Like
Do we really? Do we really?
All right, that's fair. She is a beautiful woman. Do not take what I'm about to say in a negative way. She's a beautiful woman, but she also kind of looks like a frog. Says me, who looks like this. So like, she's a beautiful woman, but that hair, she kind of look like with the bangs. She kind of looks like a frog.
Yeah, it's
nothing wrong. Just say it.
It's funny because it's that like all the Gale with Gale scenes of this film.
Oh
no, it's
God.
Connie Chung. That we got to talk about the best part of the movie, Jay and Silent Bob's.
Yes.
Yeah, like that's the only part of the movie that matters. Every other part of the movie is just not as good as Jay and Silent Bob randomly being there.
Let's be honest. The only thing that truly matters in Scream 3 is the introduction of Randy's sister. The only thing that truly matters.
I love how that whole scene, but that whole thing, like it was totally needed. It's very, for me, like Scream 2. He was my favorite part, and then that little section of the movie, I was like, "Fuck yeah!" Because I was so mad that he died.
Oh yeah, there she is. I had to look her up because I couldn't remember. I love that girl too.
Yeah, she's great.
It makes no sense in like if you were trying to.
Oh, thanks for that. Bye. And then she leaves. Like,
and then
thanks for the exposition.
And
okay, we're going now.
And then she finds a hot black guy and makes 2 babies, and then we have our Scream 5 and 6 cast. And she names one of them Chad. Fucking Chad. That motherfucker's like the Terminator. Chad is like the most resilient human being of all time. You can't kill him.
Oh, never mind. I almost spoiled something. Anyway.
No, all you say, most people who have listened to this have seen Scream 5 and 6, but Scream 5, like, he shouldn't have survived Scream 5, let alone Scream 6. He got fucked up worse in Scream 6 than he got fucked up in Scream.
I love the memes. It's like the people in the new Scream movies, like, and then the next scene, hey, I'm fine.
Listen, I want to talk about 6 so bad.
We're going to get to...
we won't talk about it.
We wanted to talk about 6 so bad when it came out.
I know, but some asshole hadn't seen the other ones.
So we're going.
And then went and saw it without seeing 5, but still knew what was going on.
I mean, you didn't get the whole...
It yet?
We talked about Scream 5.
Oh.
So we don't have to talk about... I mean, we could talk about Scream 5 again with Kintinue, but...
You don't have to talk about Scream 5. It's fine.
We do need to talk about Scream 4
right.
next week.
Scream 5 has some gnarly fucking gag scenes. You'll like those, like,
yeah,
especially like diving into Scream and you actually seeing and like liking what is going on and stuff. The things they did right in the new Scream, they really did. They hit hard. I love that one.
Yeah. Well, and as I was just talking about Don't Breathe, that kid has been in a couple of horror movies. He's gotten some. Yeah, he's had some scenes in horror, man, because he gets fucked up in
that's the best.
Don't Breathe.
Yeah.
Oh, the Dylan Midnight kid or whatever.
He's one of those generic good-looking white kids that like. I'm like, is
13 Reasons Why, right?
Yeah, I think
the
so.
Netflix show, yeah.
Yeah, he's got a band. His band's really good too. They're called the Wallows.
I look at all of them and I'm like, was he in Maze Runner? Is that was my first?
Right? No, like,
totally.
Yes.
It's him
Absolutely.
and Percy Jackson and like all those kids are just like, you're like, they all look. They're just like, in my brain, it's like generic white kid. Like if you put him in a lineup and was like, which one of these fuckers was in Scream and which one of these was in Percy, I would have no fucking clue. I'd be like, yeah.
He was also in that Open House movie that was really good.
I started that one day and then never finished it. Like I got distracted or something like that. But dude,
like
okay,
DVD?
okay, let's.
Yeah. Sorry, where are we?
No,
Rod. But that's the. No. Well, I have a point with all this now. I'm going to bring this back around to Scream 3. The biggest problem with this fucking film is none of the characters are fucking memorable. Like, none of them. None of them outside of, like, Dewey and Gail.
See, I grew up loving Josie and the Pussycats. So the Gail... the lady playing Gail was pretty much the exact same character she was in Josie and the Pussycats. So
yeah,
or that's pretty much who she is in all of them. So like,
and
I don't know.
And now every time I see Jenny McCarthy, whatever the fuck her name is, I just get angry because that bitch is such like has gone out there with her. She's so fucking stupid and goes off about fucking vaccines like one of the dumbest people ever. And you're just like, I was just like,
and her
mad.
death scene was so lame.
Yep, it's one of those things. The whole the violence in this movie is not very hardcore, right? Like you don't see jack shit most of the kills. Again, because
they pull out.
Yeah, well, this movie got fucked up, and I kind of talked about when we talked about Scream 2, but like it got fucked up because of, I think they were originally planning on bringing Stu back for Scream 3, and it was going to involve murders in going back to a high school setting. And then Columbine happened, and you go, oh, and then they took that off, and you start going how self-referential this movie is when like the Jenny McCartney's on the phone with Ghostface and like, is there another rewrite? And yeah, and it's just like,
that was great though. Yeah. I loved that part.
But like, it's the non-core people from the Scream movies are all fucking forgettable. Roman's a fucking I don't like how Roman they tried to wrap back around to Billy and Stu with Roman because it just never felt like they earned that. they never like. It's also the only Scream movie that has one killer, and so it fucks up the whole like, oh, this killer was in this scene, and this killer's like, so you never have that thing with this movie because it's only Roman. It's just Roman killing people, and it's just I don't know. It's the I don't know. This movie, everything about this film, none of the kills are like memorable. You start off with like the whole cotton thing. It's probably, I don't know. You guys think the opener, the cold opener, is the best part of the film?
Which one was this cold opener? Was this the one with Kristen Bell?
No, it's with Cotton.
Oh yeah.
With the tricky voice and all that stuff. Why do you like? I don't know. I was just gonna bring that up at the beginning because like even like him dying, it was meh to me.
Yeah.
Like I do like that they introduced the voice changer that had everyone's voice because then he could really fuck with everyone and like lure them in a lot easier. But the things that I liked about this movie were the clumsiness of Ghostface was still there. Like Wes Craven really made him stumble around and get like pushed easier and all that stuff. And I feel like all the like Ghostface like isms were really like there for this one. Like he did like that type of thing to the camera a lot more, and like the thing with the knife, cleaning the knife and that type of stuff. And these were like the things that I remember as a kid really like attaching and remembering about Ghostface. And when they got to like the requels and the remakes and all that shit, they weren't focusing enough on those things that I feel are very important to like Ghostface as a character. So
well, that's the thing though. That's when they're not. It's not the same character, right? Like you have to think about it.
It's still Scream the movie and Ghostface, and if you're not going to do those things, it doesn't feel as much like the package.
Yeah. Dude, I will say though, I do really like Ghostface coming out of the rack of Ghostface costumes.
Yes,
I like
that. That was cool.
It's one of the better scenes. Also, it's like.
But then she dies so lame though, just like on the door, and you don't see it. Like the whole lead up was good, but then her actually like dying in there was meh.
Yeah.
Also, every time I watch this movie, I go, not that he's bad looking. I don't get why Patrick Dempsey gets called McDreamy. Like he's not a bad looking dude, but it's like
he looks a little like derpy in this one.
His
haircut was weird.
It's the way he carries himself, and it's the way his like it's his face. There's something about his face and the structure of it and the way that he's able to like, he's very animated. So I think that's why people immediately are like, oh, he's so dreamy. No, he's just really good with his face.
Yeah. Oh, that, and every time I saw his partner, I'm like, this motherfucker is like generic Ben Stiller. And I don't know.
But their banter back and forth was actually fucking funny in this though. Like they're.
Also, the other thing about this one that like I doesn't like hold up as well is that they don't really accuse anyone. Like they kind of try to sell you that Patrick Dempsey's
the cop,
it's the cop, and it's just like
I've learned with Scream movies not to trust that.
Yeah, well, yeah.
The second one did it so well though. Like I feel like they were really heavy-handed on. It's this person. No, it's this person. It could be Cotton. Maybe it's not. And like, who done it? And this one, they only really did it with.
I mean, it's Sheldon's mom, and then who's
and
like
the Nev
least...
Campbell character, like Nev Campbell's whatever, who was playing Sydney in Stab. They did it with her a bit.
Oh yeah, I thought it was her. She was like batshit. I thought it was her.
Yeah. I think that like it doesn't have that thing where like you ever like, oh yeah, it's definitely this person. It's like there's no Billy, there's no like, I don't know. They've done that more.
Like the director, like when they showed him in that casket towards the end, I was sure it was him. Like the first time I saw it in theaters, I was like, but I was sure it was him. How is he dead? Yeah. And then he wasn't dead, and I was like, oh well, fuck you, Scream fuckers.
Yeah, it's
I was right.
Like the movie magic. Well, that my wife and I were watching it, and she's like, "Yeah, she did not do that. The shitty like, oh, I'm taking this pulse thing." Which, like, I don't know about you guys. Like, how often do you take pulse? Like, I mean, can you work out like a maniac? So maybe you do your own pulse things, but you also like everyone has Apple watches and like like workout watches and shit now where they can do that stuff, and it's just like I would probably do the same thing where I would fuck up and like, oh yeah, he's dead. No. He's not dead.
Are you sure?
Dude, I will laugh.
Are you sure?
I am sure. I laugh every single time I see the fucking scene where Ghostface throws the knife at fucking Dewey and fucking the handle hits him in the center of the fucking forehead.
He's such a doof.
Yeah. Dewey's such a good character, man. He really is. And it's just like you sit there going, Dewey, I love you. And
I
it's just
really wish they would have brought Stewart. Oh, sorry. Into 3.
They really like the fact that this movie ends the way it does, wraps up and gets mushy with. They were really wrapping this to be the end and make it just a trilogy. And like they were really like emphasizing that like we're not gonna fucking keep doing this all the time like we just did. Yeah. And then there was like 10 or 11 years where there was nothing. So like
11 years, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So like they really, especially the way it ends, is like, hey, there's nobody there. Like go home, fucking crowd. We're not doing this anymore. And then
John, get the fuck out.
I mean, all the correlations they've had in Killers and
that just
5 and 6 now.
I just went to the theaters. Like, there's a cheap theater in my city, and they were playing Ferris Bueller. And we, obviously the end scene where he says, "What are you still doing here?" So cool to see that movie in theaters. I love that they're playing like vintage movies all the time now, and it's like it's so much better than because it's the cheap films or the cheap theaters or whatever. So it's usually like everything that I've had on Plex for fucking 2 months already and have seen, and it's like, oh, now they're playing like awesome movies that I would love to have an experience with an audience, and fuck, that was amazing.
Dude, all you reminded me of was going to see Jaws at Alamo Draft House, and they gave everyone party poppers. So when Jaws blew up, everyone did the party poppers. The whole room smelled like gunpowder.
That's fucking funny.
Yeah, it was fucking wonderful. It was
the only one
really
I've done with that is Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but that was super fucking memorable.
Yeah,
so.
All that stuff, man, is just like I don't go to enough of their parties, but like it's like they do cool shit, man. Alamo's just such a cool theater.
So we don't have an Alamo Draft House, but I will say, like, after watching Scream 2. And it just kind of like confirming that fear. Like I used to really want to do stuff like that. And now like I started having that kind of fear. And then when that happened, I was like, I really don't.
Oh, actually,
I don't know.
That's the theater that I saw Scream 2 in. And that's where Ferris Bueller was playing. So I went, and it was in the exact same theater I saw Scream 2 in too.
Oh, that's cool.
So when I went to the washroom, I was like, "Oh my god, this is the washroom!"
I just want to
head against the stall.
I just want to watch Deadpool now because of the Deadpool Ferris Bueller end credit scene.
So good.
So, like, I honestly think that's like the biggest problem with this movie is that the violence being taken back isn't great, but like none of the characters are all that fucking exciting. It's not memorable.
Oh, police! Like, I love how he dies though. Just like, whoa! Gets flipped over by a rug. Like, what the fuck? And then thrown out a. Yep.
Yeah, it's another death. You're just like, oh, okay, we're not gonna. He gets stabbed in the stomach and then it's just like running down the hallway, and it's just like, I don't know.
But that's there was like there's a few things that they did do right, like. It's really dumb when Dewey and what's her name, Cox, are going around the house. Oh, let's split up for a second, but they come back together and then leave and then come back together again. And as soon as they split apart, Ghostface is there, like carrying her off. It caught me so off guard when I was like a kid. But
so when I was watching that and they got to the mansion part. All I I could think of was Hellraiser, the new Hellraiser. I just kept thinking of the Hellraiser house, and I don't know why, but like, I was like, oh.
Well, it's got all the trap doors and shit like that. It's probably what it is, and like, dude, but like, it's such dumb writing, especially with like Kevin Williamson wrote it, like with Erin Kruger is the other writer's name, but like, you have all these people that have been through all these movies and like the other two Scream movies, and you're like, and they're just splitting up again, and it's just like, it just doesn't feel like it feels like a stab movie that they called Scream 3. You know what I mean? It doesn't hold, like, it just doesn't hold up the fucking, like, the Nev Campbell's like smart character and like all this stuff. And just like, everyone's just like, oh, it's just filled with like generic slashers, like tropes, and just like generic slasher victims and generic. It's like, it's just not what Scream should be. Like, I still like this movie, don't get me wrong, but like, it's by far the worst Scream movie. It's not even close. I haven't seen Scream 4 in a while, but like
Scream 4 is more fun though, and way more violent, because it's a new decade. So they have to be meta for a new decade.
Well, that was like after all the torture porn movies came out, right? It was like after Saw and all the shit like that, Hostels and shit like that. So they were like,
okay, people are desensitized. We can show blood again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's weird how the things that what affects like violence in media in this country, like you always look at what, like, back before Justin Timberlake pulled Janet's nipple out, like they were like all the shit that was getting away with, like they were like things were more violent again, and like they were like swearing on radio more. Like, it was amazing what they were getting away with, and then they used Janet Jackson's nipple popping out on the Super Bowl as the reason to pull back shit, you know, just like this movie in like Columbine. So you just go, there's just any reason you can to, like, you know, just pull back or pull out. I mean,
that's what I said. This movie pulled out for sure.
It pulled out for sure. Like, I don't know. I see people, like, I was seeing rankings people are doing, like, when Scream 6 was coming out, and any time I saw someone who didn't have Scream 3 as the worst one, I'm like, it's, you know, it's like when someone goes, oh man, I love Seed of Chucky. I'm like, what? And I kind of understand.
I love Seed of Chucky.
I hate Seed of Chucky. I kind of understand like the like LGBTQ like stuff, like community stuff that embrace it because of all the stuff with, like, you know, Glenn and Glenda and stuff like that. But no, I'm like, nope, don't like this movie at all. At all. It takes all the, it's like, it's when it's almost as bad as when Freddy was like joysticking people to death in the Final Nightmare movie. I don't know, man. You know what the other thing about this film that it actually kind of reminds me of? It reminds me of Scream 5 a lot, because Nev Campbell isn't like around for the first, like, what, third of the movie.
Yeah, I mean, she's just hanging out.
Yeah, hanging out in the middle of nowhere. Also, I have to laugh every time I watch that when it shows her house and she's running around with her golden retriever and she has a "Beware of Dog" sign. I'm like, yeah, because a killer golden retriever is going
to... The golden retriever is going to retrieve your nuts. No, sorry.
It's going to Dude, speaking of which, this is what you reminded me. You reminded me of the tracker dude in John Wick. Like, I swear he's got a dog, like a German Shepherd, and his command is nuts or something like that. And the German Shepherd, goes after people's nuts for like the entire movie. It's fucking fantastic. John Wick.
Spoiler.
Yeah, it's a real plot device there, Josh. His dog eats people's testicles.
I wanted to be surprised by that, Rod.
Speaking of nuts, when I used to take martial arts, we had a move that was a downward thrust, but it was something followed up. So we just called it the cookie grab, and you would take your palm and you would smash down into the testicles and then like grab and then pull back really hard.
Sounds hot.
Fun time to be alive.
Also, the fact that you call it the cookie grab is an interesting thing because the cookie is also another sometimes term used
or
for
nookie.
vagina. So
Yeah.
I did it all for the nookie, Josh. The
I know.
nookie. Dude, also, this movie and the Creed songs.
I know.
This movie. What if it
But
were
Scream 2 had way more. Like, this one was just like, really bad. But Scream 2 had like the super night. It was like, wow, this is like going in the books as a 90s movie.
This movie's just Creed because it's got the Creed song, it's got the what if, and then it's got the Creed poster in Sydney's fake bedroom in the thing.
There was a thing about the Creed song somewhere in relation to the Scream movies about like how many times they're used. It was like 9 or 6 or something. I can't wait to talk about 6 because anyway.
I need to rewatch. I've heard that Scream 6 is one of those movies that you watch more than once, and
that's
it
what
makes
all
sense
of them.
The better, yeah.
Like, because there's 2 killers, it makes them all rewatchable. Because then you go back and you're like, oh, that's definitely this.
Yeah.
You know, like in this.
When we were watching Scream 2, I think we talked about it like a couple weeks ago. Like it's obviously Timothy Olyphant for most of them, and then you see the ones where it's like Sheldon's mom, who is like way smaller.
She
and
like sneaks in and goes, hiya, hiya, and then leaves.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why she can't kill Dewey, right? You know, So, oh man, that's another problem with this movie. It's like you don't have that. You don't have that. You have one killer, so you don't have that.
Yeah, but he seems pretty super strong. He's throwing everyone around, like, and he's just a little director.
He's such a bitch. Like every scene with him in this, he's just like crying and whining about everything.
But that's part of his so you don't suspect him. But that's what made me suspect him. He's bitching all the time. He's definitely the killer.
I mean, I don't know. They weren't like ever trying to sell you it was Bishop, but Bishop was a piece of shit in this film too. Oh, Bishop. He's like, we're just like raping people in my gangbang room. Oh, okay. It was the 70s, man. It's okay. He's just doing coke and just like gangbanging everyone, and yeah. It's also the other
70s,
weird thing about the other weird thing about this film. Everything was
you remember the 70s, right, old man?
Sorry.
All the scenes with Sydney and her like seeing her dead mom and like the nightmares and everything like that.
That first nightmare was good though. Like in the window, that fucked with me in the theater.
Yeah. But like it just doesn't feel like a Scream movie. It's like he's pulling like Nightmare on Elm Street shit in there. It's just like it's so out of place, and like you could kind of justify the couple times of the body bag thing as Roman was fucking with her, like, but like
the dream within a dream within a dream. He inceptioned in his own movie.
I also think it's funny that like he goes at some point he wanted to make a romantic comedy or like a romance movie, and they made him do Stab 3 first.
Yeah, that was great.
Yes, it's like I don't know, man. It's just like it's such a weird film in like so many ways because it doesn't follow like the Scream mythos like at all. It's just a weird like, yeah, this is just one killer. It's just like it. You have no memorable characters. You have no like outside of your like returning characters. You have no like it's got those weird cameos. Like remember how I hate fucking Sandra Bullock in whatever Ocean's 12? The fucking Princess Leia. The fucking Princess Leia. Oh, you look like Princess Leia. It's like what? It's so lazy. It's so
if Jane and Silent Bob are going to be there, then
why not Princess Leia?
Then
she was in Dogma.
I know, but like, don't be like, oh, you look like Carrie Fisher. It's Carrie Fisher, you dumb motherfucker. Stop trying to be. It's not clever. It's stupid. It's stupid.
I mean, it was probably clever at the time.
I don't know, man. That's why.
I mean, Jay and Silent Bob were there. Like, that's the tone.
But they're okay. They're Jay and Silent Bob. But one, they don't say they're Jay and Silent Bob.
They don't have to. They're literally Jay and Silent Bob.
I know, but when I'm referencing Carrie Fisher, and they're like, "Oh, you look like Carrie Fisher," and then
they didn't say it though. They just said you look like, and she says, "I know."
She goes,
"Suck my dick."
She goes, "Yeah, I almost got the part, but I didn't fuck George Lucas." It's just like
that made me laugh so fucking hard.
These are all the like. The isms of Hollywood. So they had to bake it into the script because it was in Hollywood and it was about a movie being made and a movie inside a movie, and it had to have all the cliches of Hollywood, including Jay and Silent Bob, because they're everywhere.
And the lead star fucked the old, bishop to get the role that you like confirm later on. I don't know why she's like running out of the house going, "I didn't fuck it." Like the old man.
The whole mansion thing is so stupid. Every part of the mansion is the dumbest thing ever.
Bored there. I was like, eh.
They're running around. Oh, grab the chair over here. It was like
that.
Oh, I fell through a door in the wall. Okay.
Okay, there's so many dumb scenes I want to talk about in the mansion. One, Dewey shooting him repeatedly in the chest is one of the dumbest fucking things I've ever seen in any of these movies. I
don't think a bulletproof vest actually is completely bulletproof.
He would have broken ribs and he'd be down hurt. Yeah.
It will stop. It's like getting hit real hard, but like
I saw a YouTube video where they actually made John Wick's suit. Like they spent like a year like build and testing it and all that stuff, and they're like all these, like even the bulletproof vest, because they're testing it against it. And most bullets will get stopped, but most of them will also break your rib. So that whole scene where he's just like,
well,
like he would have been hurt so bad.
Dude, it's funny because it's like what I think what fucks John Wick up more than anything in the new movie is he keeps falling down those famous Paris stairs. Right. He's just like blah blah blah. It's like because he keeps getting knocked down. I don't know. Yeah, like so that is one of the dumbest things. And then Dewey just shooting the fucking windows out, like the one-way mirrors at like in that scene is you have a 6-shot revolver and you go. You couldn't just shoot one of them and then just like look in there. Like, why are you using all 6 of your bullets to like? So
Cox can scream again. Like she screams more in this movie than she does in any of the movies.
It's because she saw her bangs in the mirror, Josh. She was screaming because she saw her bangs in the mirror.
No, because the mirror broke and then she saw it all over the floor in many reflections.
Oh, I know she saw her bangs over and over. Courtney Cox must have like nightmares about those bangs. She's like,
she has to.
These bangs, they haunt my dreams. They haunt.
She bangs. She bangs.
Oh baby, when she moves, she moves.
Okay, can we talk about how that man Ricky Martin sang all these songs about banging women and was obviously gay the entire time it came out after that? It's like, man, you wrote all these songs about how much you love banging women. We knew, Ricky. It's okay. You just be honest with yourself about who you want to bang, and we still love you and your bad songs.
It's PR.
Yeah.
If you have like, more of a chance to sell.
I know, but if
that
he was
type
singing,
of music,
he bangs, it would have been fine, right?
Yeah, but at that time, it wasn't as accepted as well, and also. I don't know.
Okay, let's think about it this way though. If he was singing "He Bangs," maybe he's just like referring to himself in third person, and you just don't have to like. You don't have to like. You can make it like you're singing a referential song about yourself banging, but what you're really singing about is all the hot guys you want to bang. You know, Ricky.
That song's still fucking. It's such
slaps.
a banger.
Dude,
it's a banger.
Is. You know that man has banged some really good looking dudes too, because he's like got money and he's a good looking guy. So it's just like you go, damn it, Ricky Martin. He bangs. I bet there's got to be a cover of that sings "He Bangs."
In Rod's dreams.
Also, do you guys ever think that Nev's husband in Scream 5 is really McDreamy?
Yeah, they really end this like, "Hey, I got popcorn. What are you watching?" You're gonna have to wait and see as he like whips his dick out or something. What was he doing there?
And then his like dick comes out and he just starts talking like Ghostface.
Yeah.
What's your favorite porno movie? Oh, which I'm sure there's a Scream porno ripoff. It's like
I was gonna say moan.
Yeah.
All right, I gotta check this out right now. Scream.
Hell yeah! Find out. Let's see.
And then, dude, maybe
yes,
they explain. Maybe they explained that Nev Campbell's her bang, or I mean not Nev Campbell, Courtney Cox's bangs are like that because someone came in her hair.
And now I'm looking at
Did
Scream
you say
porn.
about Mary?
Yeah,
what the hell? There's
Josh,
so many
no
Scream porn.
Like, I mean, that's not too far down the ADHD rabbit hole. I'm fine with that.
I mean, we're talking about Scream still.
No,
right?
I said now I got to check this out. Oh yeah, there's a ton of Scream
Well,
porn.
of course there's Scream porn. Shit.
I mean, we've seen a Scary Movie where the dick comes to the stand and like gets
That
in
was
the
on there
ears.
too.
Yep. Oh man,
You were talking about dragon dildos last time you were here. So.
We were talking about Bad Dragon. Okay.
Yeah, let's be very. And you said Bad Dragon. I think you like he's a bad dragon or something. And I'm like, Josh, do you not know what Bad Dragon is? You're saying things that I don't know if you know.
Of course I don't. Why would I know what Bad Dragon is?
Because you're on the internet. I know you're Canadian, and everyone in Canada is so sweet and innocent, but Bad Dragon.
I'm not a gamer like you guys.
What is okay? Now hold on.
What
does being a gamer have to do with knowing about Bad Dragon?
It's totally in your circle for sure. I know this.
I mean, most things that are lewd are in my circle at this point.
Exactly. I mean, have you?
My mind is perpetually
I'm talking
in the
about
gutter
Twitch
this week.
in general.
I mean,
it's
but
the meme.
Valid.
I've been like this way before Twitch, Josh. Way before Twitch.
Oh, but
I
of
don't know.
course.
The last 2 weeks, I have been so far in the gutter, I don't think I can get out of it.
Now Kin has an official Bad Dragon sponsorship, so she's good.
No.
Were you talking about at some point how people get
There we go.
There were people on Twitch that have
Bad Dragon.
Adam and Eve, they'll get
Yeah.
Adam and Eve sponsors, but like there's some kind of weird like toss thing, so you have to do it really weird if you get it.
I know that I've seen people on YouTube reviewing like Adam and Eve products, and I'm just like, that seems like you're like a very delicate, like you have to do this very carefully.
Is this how you do it? Like, is this what we're doing? Wait. Surprise! It's a review.
Surprise, cockface! Man.
Wait, is Josh like what is Josh's? Is that like some kind of weird ass face hugger or like a massive docking session? What's happening over there?
Josh is showing the pocket pussy he got from Bad Dragon that he loves.
Remember last week?
What is this? What did you do?
Oh yeah, about jerking off someone with your elbow, I think is what we were. It was there was a lot.
We'll find a way. We'll find a way.
Yeah,
Oh my god!
I remember I was talking about like how you would jerk off without a thumb, Ken. This is the kind of things we were going over last week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you didn't have a thumb, you can just still cup it. You know.
Not
That's
if your
what I
dick's
said.
in any like.
But then it turned into. It
No.
started out like that. I was like, wait.
You
you could do
just cup
things.
it. Yeah, or you can salmon
Ken!
impregnation. What?
is, like,
you can't make your hand different sizes. Like, hello.
I know, but you need the thumb to complete the grip.
No, well, I mean, then you don't have a thumb, and I guess you're fucked. Like, I don't know.
No, you're not fucked, and that's the problem.
You're not fucked. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
No, you're fucked. The other person's not fucked. That's the problem. No,
exactly.
like you could do the whole like.
There's two
prayer.
hands.
I don't know. Like, what is this?
Like this.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
That makes me think of like a cup, like on a trailer hitch.
Rod's gonna do this tonight, I bet. Hey, how's it going? Hey. Oh my god.
That noise, Ken, was perfect. Oh my god. And I think we've lost it, and that's the end. We are diving into Scream 4 next week to continue our Scream dive in, and then we're gonna skip 5 because we've already done it, and we'll do 6 in 2 weeks. So Scream 4 next week. I'm kind of excited because it's been years since I watched Scream 4. It
had been years since I've seen this one. Like I rewatched the first one and the second one like easily. And this one, it's not that I'm avoiding it or anything. It's weird for me that when I rewatched this, I was like, man, it's not that I forgot any of the parts because there's not much going on.
It's just forgettable. It's forgettable.
And there's a lot of like the in-between, like just lame shit that's going on that I was like, oh man, yeah, this is clunky. Is a very good word to describe it.
It almost feels like a serious, scary movie at times. You know what I mean? Like it seems like they're like making a Scream movie and then calling it Scary Movie, but then they forgot to add the jokes. I mean, it's just not as it had problems, man. I still find it entertaining. It's just like it's like in one hand you have a hamburger from McDonald's,
in the other hand you have no thumb and you're trying to jerk yourself off.
I was gonna say a ribeye steak, not that, but also just no thumb, and you could be jerking off.
I want a steak. Fuck you.
Fuck you. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay, motherfuckers. Yes, next week, Scream 4, we continue, and we will keep going on this series. So, Candace, so glad to have you back. We were sad without you. Oh, we missed you, and you're wonderful.
What about Shark Week? That's something we're trying to figure out, too. Here sometime.
KPP sent us a message about doing it some Friday night, so we'll keep that in mind. I really want to do the Hey Mark shark movie because holy fuck, that's gonna be something. Okay,
I'll go to the theaters for that.
Murdermoose.com. We have Murder Moose Pod. I think it's Murder Moose Pod or podcast on Twitter, even though Twitter probably won't be around much longer because Elon's a fucking idiot. We have Kintinue.
It doesn't work anymore, man. But Instagram really doesn't work anymore either. Like, I don't understand what's happening with social media right now. They're all pointless.
Every time I close Twitter now, like if I close the app on my phone, I open it back up and it tells me it couldn't send a tweet. And I'm like, but it's such a disaster.
I have negative engagement, like negative.
Yeah. Josh goes into Twitter with a boner, and then as soon as he opens it, it is like it reverts. Like he has a pussy. He has a pussy. It goes so far inside of him, you could fuck Josh's penis because that's how much it sucks up inside of him. It's like one of those those little tubes that we had as a kid that had blue water in them, and you would squeeze them.
You'd squeeze them and they'd shoot out.
Yeah, that's what Josh
is. Also called your penis, but I mean, I get. No, I'm just kidding.
Those were pocket pussies.
Yeah, I mean that's
okay. Now I have to ask. I should not ask this because I don't really want to know. And feel free to reply to the post on Twitter with this if you've made this far. Did you ever fuck your little squeezy water thing with the hole in it? That would shoot through your hand.
I never did.
I never did either. But now thinking back, I was like, "Fuck."
I've done a lot.
A great idea for a guy.
I did a lot of weird shit as a kid, but that was not one of the weird things I did. So
my brain was like, "Tell us the weirdest thing you fucked," but let's not.
Yeah. I
your
think
mom
it's illegal. I think it's illegal in 7 states, but no, I'm just kidding. Oh, okay. Yes, Kintinue.com, stdmotel.com, stdhotel.com, onlynouns.com, and fucking, oh my God, quaintate.com. There you go. God damn it, that's the only one I always forget now. One of them. I always forget one of them.
I love quaint. It's such a good word.
I love the word quaint. It's so quaint.
Especially when it combines with taint. We have JoshWRB.com.
I bet you she's got a great quaint taint.
I mean, of
Ain't
course.
that a quaint taint?
It's very quaint. It's very quaint and lovely. Also,
Quainted?
I wanted to say that I watched WrestleMania last night, and the fact that Roman Reigns beat up Cody was very sad. And I don't even watch WWE that often, but it made me sad. That's
the belt. I have no clue what you're talking about, but you know.
WrestleMania was yesterday. It was yesterday and Saturday, but okay. And then JoshWRB.com and JoshWRB on Twitter. So follow him and do his adventures with him. And I'm Rod_Johnson on Twitter and Twitch. And yeah, I won't be around as much this week, but I'll be back next week. So we'll figure it out. So
damn right you will.
Yes. And we love you guys. Next week is Scream 4. And someday, Ken will watch Psycho Gorman. So everybody, we love you. We'll catch you next week. And thanks for listening. Bye.
It's in the game.
It's in the game.